because these things are not easy. These things are very complex.
Absolutely. And especially
so it just really pissed me off during this time. And I was like, I can't wait for the show to come back.
Darien was like 3 days left till I get to rage.
Hell yeah. Ese niño with 4 Cuban grandparents. Do you know how much potaje, puré, frijol ese niño had growing up? To have Corey from Indiana tell me that kid is not Cuban? Please, bro. Sit down.
Sit down.
Fernando Mendoza for sure was smelling like agua violeta for the first 9 years of his life.
That kid was bathed in Agustin Reyes.
Thank you.
But again, it's the people, just the selective outrage that people have about Bad Bunny performing on the Super Bowl. And it's like, you know what? Another thing, whether you like it or not, he's American. Puerto Rico is American. Whether you like it or not, it's American. So you know what? Let him be on the freaking halftime show. If you don't want to watch it, then don't watch it. But the people like putting their, line in the sand, I am not watching it because he's not American. First of all, he is American. And if you have a problem with Puerto Rico and Bad Bunny being American, then you know what? Freaking redo the Treaty of Paris of 1898 when, Puerto Rico became a territory of the United States. Go deal with that treaty.
All right, everybody. So, welcome back. We were on a little bit of a vacation, and I know it's a new year, but I figured, you know what? New year, but let's have a returning host, DJ Darian is back with us.
Hello, everyone. Did you miss me?
Oh, they did. They did. I have not stopped hearing about how much they missed you.
I'm back.
You are back.
I'm a little nervous.
Are you nervous?
Yeah, I am.
Should I just have Roger standing over there? Should I just get him?
No.
Okay.
How is everyone?
I think everyone right now is much happier that not that they didn't love Roger, but they're happy that you're back. You were missed, not just amongst us, obviously, but all of the Pero Primos very, very much missed you.
I was supposed to be gone a week, then 2 weeks, and then 3, and then we had to make an official statement.
We had to make an official statement. Yeah. A PR release, basically.
Shit, I was gone like 6 months.
No, it wasn't that long, was it?
Yeah. It was like August.
Was it?
Yes. It was like July, August.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
I missed almost half the season.
You really did, yeah.
I did. Yeah, it was a while.
It was a while. Yeah, it's funny because it's like I didn't think it was that long, but then when you put it in that context, I'm like, yeah, you're right, because by the time of my birthday party, yeah, Roger had already been here a couple of weeks. So that was August. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, it was a while.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a while. I wish I could tell you that I was vacationing somewhere interesting or that I was traveling the world.
You weren't in the Galapagos?
No. Would that really be where I would be?
I don't know. That seems somewhere very remote and relaxing.
If I'm disappearing for 4 months, I'm going to India.
Whatever. You say that, and then you're going to get there and there's no air conditioning.
There isn't.
I know.
Yo te he dicho, I want to go to India to immerse myself in the culture y pasar trabajo.
See. You say that. You can't even sit in a car that has AC at 75.
A car, a house.
Right. And you're going to like the epicenter of humidity.
Oh. That's why you shave your head. So anyway, I can't believe we're in season 9.
Yes, season 9. We're back. And so actually we'll say this up front. So this is the first episode of the new season, but this is the last episode we're recording in this studio. We are moving to a new studio starting next week.
So
new set, new surroundings.
I'm glad it worked out that way.
Right?
Like one last hurrah, especially for me.
I was gonna say you got to come back. Yeah, exactly. You got to come back and have one last moment here in the studio before we move over. And I think it'll be fun because the new space. The idea also is we might be doing occasional live shows, so we'll see how that pans out. But
oh my god, my anxiety level just
you and your anxiety, you'll be fine.
So
you love performing.
Yeah. So Junior, I missed you, bro.
What's up? I've been waiting to do this because the boys are back in town, baby! Can you feel it? Missed you. We always would shout you out, obviously.
I know.
I hope you felt the love, not
did.
just from the Pero Primos, but from everyone that was in the stands here. People were showing up with I love DJ signs and everything.
We told them to stay home today, though.
Yeah.
Because, today it's
grand
intimate.
Grand
It's-
return.
Yeah.
And I wanna thank also JC, here from Cultura Media House. JC, was checking in on me. You were always checking in on me, Junior. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. So, wow. I guess I should be transparent as to what was really going on. And I've thought in the last few days what I'm going to say. Because on the one hand, I want to be transparent with what's going on. But on the other hand, I've always been a very private person, especially about my personal life. Like, we come and, we joke around. I say, stuff about my parents and stuff like that. And
There's a limit.
I love sharing that with people, but I'm also very private. And especially in this day and age that with social media and, well, you and I have a platform, which is this podcast, sometimes you have to be very conscious of it in terms of your privacy. And so I in the last few days, I knew this moment was coming. So I'm like, how do I explain what's going on and be honest with our audience, especially the ones that have been here since the beginning? Yeah. So I'm going to try the best that I can. The last year has been very, very difficult for me. There were a lot of things going on different fronts that are very personal. A lot of them have to do with very personal things in my family that I don't want to get into because it has to do with someone else. And I'm very respectful at that's their story. And I don't like to tell other people's stories. That's their story. And I'll leave it at that. So I had been dealing with an immense amount of anxiety. But I'm talking about like clinical, like that it was crippling me. And just everything was becoming harder and harder and harder to do. And I remember the last episode that you and I did together. The moment Junior hit cut, I took off my headphones and I told you, I can't do this. I need a break. Because I think what people don't realize is that you and I come and we do this and we shoot the shit and we have fun, but it takes an enormous amount of concentration and of being present at the moment in order to have the banter that we have. It takes a lot of energy. And I was dealing with a lot of things that just, I wasn't focused. I wasn't coming to the show prepared. I felt the show was suffering. Like I look back on those last episodes that I was in, and I know I would pick up on like awkward silence between you and I, which never happens, of you being, bueno, which is something that never happens between you and I. So the show I thought was suffering. And it was just very difficult for me to do. But the truth is, I was and am dealing with an immense amount of anxiety to the point that it's disabling. Mm-hmm. And it's not that I'm a prideful person, because I'm not, but I'm very hard on myself, and I'm very like, I can get through this. I will get through this. And there had been other times in my life, like everybody else, that have gone through very difficult things that I had soldiered on. But this time was different. This time I felt that, it had complete control of me. And I decided to get help. And I did start seeing a therapist and a psychiatrist, and I've had intervention because I really felt I needed it. And I just want to say that I'm not on the other side of it. Mm-hmm. I'm not. I'm still dealing with it. very much. I'm trying to be honest. I don't know.
No,
I'm trying to be transparent.
But there's also a moment that's still yours, right? So,
I am still dealing with it. And I have to say, anxiety is terrible. And I kept saying to myself, I'm like, I went to law school. Like, that's one of the most anxiety-driven, most pressure boiler things ever. I took the bar. I worked in a huge, I've dealt with all these like highly like stressful events, and I sort of soldiered through. But again, this is very different because this is personal, and I'm still struggling. There is help. I did seek help, and therapy and all that has been great. And I can't stress it enough how important therapy is, in addition to having an excellent support system is. But I'm still struggling with it. The difference, I think, between right now and maybe 6 months ago is that right now I'm just trying to get up and just continue with the things that I've always enjoyed, like the show. Whereas 6 months ago, I was in the mindset to do anything. And you probably had front row to that, just my overall demeanor. I really was struggling, and just the anxiety would take over and like just completely cripple me. I'm just choosing now to try to not sink in it and just try to continue my life. But I am not on the other side of it yet. I'm just trying. So I wanted to be honest with everyone and tell them what was going on. Mental health is not linear.
right.
It's not. Okay, I went to therapy. Now
That's
I'm great.
I'm cured. Right.
Now I'm great.
Right.
It's,
You're gonna have good days and bad days, and
and it's funny because I always text you when I got out of therapy. I'm like, oh my God, that was rough. And sometimes I get out of therapy and I feel 100 times worse because I just went through a lot,
Right.
with the therapist, but it's supposed to be that way,
Right.
Well,
if not, you're not being honest.
Yeah. So I just want to thank everybody who really reached out. There were a lot of people who DM'd us, who sent, even in my personal Instagram, sent messages. And I really did feel it. Your shout outs, Junior, really were great. Roger's shout outs were great. And we'll get to Roger a little bit later in the show. But I really thank everybody that reached out. And it really meant a lot. And as I said, I'm just trying to get by and move forward. And I'm sure there's going to be some days that I'm going to be like, oh my God. And then there's going to be other days that I could meddle through. So that's it, people.
Right. Listen, I applaud you. I mean, look, like you said, as many years as I've known you, like I knew you were going through something. And the thing with that is I'm not trying to equate it to alcoholism, but it's one of those things where it's like you can know someone's going through something and you can be like, are you okay? Are you okay? But until the person makes the decision for themselves, like, what was I going to tell you? You're not recording next week until you go get help. Like, right?
Yeah.
You have to come to that on your own. And I think I'm speaking for myself. I'm glad you did. I'm glad that you came to that realization. And again, you've always been an advocate for mental health. So there's no shame in it 100% across the board. And I think, you say you're not through it yet, but I think you're definitely a step closer than you were when you started.
Well, yes.
And
yes.
Right.
Hence I'm here.
right. But what I'm saying is some people are just like, to your point, it's like, oh, I'm not cured yet. Right. It's not instant. And I think you have to just, the hardest, the first step is the hardest, right? Is you have to go, there's no way through it, but to go through it.
Yeah.
And I applaud you for doing that.
Thank you. I mean, this is a conversation that I had with you some time ago, a few weeks ago, or a few months ago. I don't remember. Like, I seriously thought about not coming back. Because I was like, I put in 8.5 years. I think we never missed an episode. I was like, nobody could say that we or I half-assed it or didn't put all my effort into it. And I really, really thought about like, I could leave this now and I'll be okay with it. But then I was like, no, I'm not going to do that either, because this is something you and I started and we've worked our asses off to do. So I'm not going to leave until we both leave.
We're burning the building down together.
Yeah. Or unless our contracts expire and we can't,
exactly.
We can
they find younger hosts.
Younger. No, we can't agree to the terms and monetary terms, and we go in there as a united front, like the Friends
cast. Damn it. What do you mean you can't get us only a bowl of green M&Ms? We're out.
But, and the thing about mental health and seeking help is that, so I don't know if a lot of people know this. My background prior to going to law school was mental health. I studied psychology and I worked in Miami behavioral and different places. And I've always been an advocate for mental health as well. But I was one of these people. And again, it's not a matter of pride. It's a matter of like, I could take care of it. Right. Like I can. And I did. Until I didn't.
Until you didn't. Yeah.
So, and again, it's not a matter of shame. It's not a matter of pride. It's a matter of like, I think when you have the type of personality that I have, that I'm like boom, 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 like get your shit together and just go. Mm-hmm. That sometimes that's great and it works until it doesn't work.
I think there's also an element of, and this is something we've talked about on this show several times, right? As the son of immigrants, right? Like there's a part of your brain that, whether you realize it or not, I think just kind of tells you like, you know what? You didn't have to go through what your parents went through. So
what am I complaining
about? Right? So you just keep pushing and pushing and pushing until you push too far.
Yeah. I have a nice house with flat screen TVs.
Yeah. I have a degree.
I have a degree. I have a new
job.
car.
Right.
I have an EV.
I travel.
I travel. My parents, right. It does. That's the type of stuff that like, as good as being like, as much drive as like being the son of immigrants gives you, it also puts in a certain amount of pressure
whether
on
you realize it or not.
Right. So, yeah. And, one of the reasons I was excited to come back was because it would have just killed me to not be part of the show and not talk about the Beckham family drama.
And see here, I thought we were just going to go to a BetterHelp commercial after that. Like,
yeah. Introspection is over.
That's it. We're done. Now we're going to be ourselves.
Welcome to Pero Let Me Tell You, episode 373.
It's
so mean, bro.
Yes.
The show has just begun.
Yes. I have to say, I mean, this is exactly what we do, right? We give you, pathos, we give you heartfelt, we give you, intimate, and then we careen to the other side of the street to talk about the Beckhams.
Can say we're one-dimensional.
No. We might be four-dimensional.
So let me tell you something. I have many opinions, like everybody else. I have many opinions about the Beckham family drama. I have my opinions.
Do you think there's anybody out there who doesn't know what we're talking about at this point?
Do we need to set up the Beckham family drama?
I'm saying, do you think it's even
let's
worth
set it up. Okay, so Victoria Beckham and David Beckham, in case you need to know who they are.
Yes, Miami residents.
Yes. Posh Spice from, the Spice Girls, fashion mogul, and the world's most famous football star, co-owner of Inter Miami. Yes. Have 4 children, Brooklyn, Cruz, Romeo, and Harper. Why do I know all this?
That's what I told Jose. I was like, I don't know why I know their 4 names. I do. I don't know the names of the other ones.
Just like I know Tallulah, Scout, and Rumor. I don't know why I know Demi and Bruce Willis' kid's name. There's kids in my family that I don't know their names. But somehow I know these names. Anyway. So Brooklyn marries Nicola
Peltz.
Whatever.
Peltz is her name.
They got married.
Yeah, she's an actress and a bajillionaire.
There's some family drama. He hadn't been going. Do we really need to set this up? I feel people that listen to our show know what they are.
You know what? That's right. That's right. There's family drama tied to his wedding.
The point is, I have so many opinions on it in like different ways because Mira.
Okay.
In the first way,
phase of your opinion.
There's my Cuban Latino opinion.
Chiquito malcriado.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then there is you know what? I also understand that when you are the son of two uber, like we are talking, there's A-list and then there's the Beckhams. And the oldest, right? When you are the son of not one, but both of your parents being mega cultural icons, where do you go? Like,
well, I have a response to
anything you do is going to be scrutinized, and you're going to be called a Nepo baby, even if you find the cure for cancer. And I understand that living in that shadow,
that's awful. Yeah,
you know, the same way you have all this privilege, I also understand that living in that shadow can also have drawbacks as well. And then I'm trying to be unbiased because I mean, I like the Beckhams. You know?
You're trying to be unbiased.
I'm trying to be unbiased.
Okay.
But I keep going to chiquito malcriado.
Why is it that we keep veering back there?
You know why? I'm going to tell you why.
Because that's where I keep landing.
I
want to understand him, but
here's
I can't.
my problem with the way all this was handled. First of all, I believe the truth is somewhere in the middle, right? Let's say it is
with Mark Anthony.
With Mark Anthony. Let's say that the truth is in the middle. Let's say that, you know, there was a fallout between Brooklyn and his parents. What happened in the wedding did happen. Let's all say that the things that allegedly happened did happen.
Or was interpreted as happening by the parties.
My problem with the way that he has handled this, why did he need to post all that stuff on Instagram and throw his family and his parents under the bus? This could have been handled privately. Right? He could have handled this completely privately with his parents.
I'm not going to speak about it.
If he wanted distance from his parents, go distance yourself from your parents. Like if you wanted to not talk to them, but he goes on Instagram, he says all these things. Some of them are factually incorrect because the whole thing of the dress is like there's proof that what he said was not true.
The kids say there's receipts.
Right? There's receipts.
Yeah, literally in this case.
Right? And put his parents on blast and say, I'm never reconciling with my parents. Well, Brooklyn Beckham. I'm sure your parents probably have not written you out of the will.
Right.
So you probably
You're okay.
will.
Yeah.
You're okay. Yeah. I don't know. I think that dealing the way that he dealt with this publicly, that is where he loses me.
It's like
even if I want to believe him and even if I want to give him credit or
the benefit of the doubt.
Exactly, the benefit of the doubt. The fact that he made this so public is where he loses me.
What I think is funny is that when he says, well, anytime, I love anytime that one of these like celebrity situations happen and they go through the entire, you know, public statement and the press conference and it always ends with like, and we ask for our privacy. I'm like, clearly this is what you want because that's why you posted it on a social media platform. But what I found fascinating about it is like, I had heard rumors that there was a rift, but he was saying that like, you know, because all the coverage, and maybe I don't know, maybe this is like a UK thing. I don't really recall hearing that much about the rift.
So
maybe it's a UK thing.
I had because
like I
for
heard
example,
rumblings, but nothing to that degree.
There had been very huge public events that he didn't go to. So then obviously, especially the Beckhams that are so the media is always on them. They were like, "Where's Brooklyn?" Right.
He was making grilled cheese.
Okay, can we talk about his cooking videos for a minute?
Why do you think I brought it up?
Okay.
Meanwhile, that is now, by the way, the hottest ticket at the South Beach Wine and Food Festival.
Are you serious?
It must be. Are you kidding me? Brooklyn Beckham is co-hosting the burger event.
Okay. Remember I told you this?
Yep.
I told you this like 2 years ago. Yeah. I told you, coño, Brooklyn Beckham must have tremendo PR team because of who his parents are. Literally, he went to the Today Show's cooking segment and he made a steak. He got a steak, he put salt in it and put it in the pan. That was his cooking. And then there was another one that he made grilled cheese. Like he made grilled cheese. There's another one actually that I was watching yesterday that he's like, let's make a smash burger. And then there's like a smash burger like chef or cook that was like doing the stitch.
Okay.
And he's like, you don't do that. No, you smash it in the pan or on the grill top. No, you don't put oil because you need to use an 80-20 blend. No, you don't do that. And then his cooking videos are awful because here's the thing about his cooking videos. Okay, let's say that he wanted to make cooking content. Mm-hmm. It's like, go to Le Cordon Bleu or take some crash course in cooking. Right. You have the money for it.
This is true.
Right. And learn something so then you could come back with at least above average skills. Because his videos, like I told you the other day, he has a video. He's like, today I'm Brooklyn Beckham and today we are going to make pasta. And he gets a box of pasta. He puts it in water. And then he's like, oh, you want to salt your water. And then the next scene is him coming out of his yacht to get seawater. And then he
puts that in the...
And then he puts seawater in the pot. And he's like, okay, so you're going to cook your pasta 4 minutes. If you want it al dente.
Wait, wouldn't that water have like petroleum in it?
Go with me here.
Okay.
And then this was the video. He boiled pasta and then he's like, and I'm going to get my, carbone? My Alfredo sauce from a bottle and just pour it on. And he's like, your pasta. And I'm like... I mean, don't you have somebody telling you, Brooklyn, let's elevate it, right? Because you get bottled.
Fry an egg on it or
I've
something.
done that. I get bottled pasta and I put tomatoes in it. I elevate the shit out of it.
I've done that and I don't cook. And I'm not you.
No, this is Brooklyn Beckham, and I'm like, are you serious? Like, don't you have somebody telling you, okay, we need to amp up? So when you see stuff like that, it's sort of hard to feel bad for him. And again, you don't know what happened there. Right. You don't know what happened between closed doors. You know, I again, the Beckhams
they're a brand.
They're a brand. They're a PR
100%.
machine. I'm sure there's things that those kids do that they don't want to do,
right?
Or don't, or can't say certain things. And I'm sure that carries its weight,
right?
But again, the way that he so publicly put his parents on blast and just, I'm never reconciling with them again. I'm like, shut up. Your mom is Posh Spice. Get over it.
Really. Meanwhile, she got an award this week. She went and celebrated baby's 50th. You know, she's fine. She got her number one, her first number one.
She got a number one single in the UK.
It's, child thing aside,
Listen,
it's not
Brooklyn
a bad week
Beckham,
for Posh.
Stop right now.
Yeah, thank you very much. Who do you think you are?
You're trying to be a wannabe cook.
Yeah.
And then you need to holla.
Yeah, exactly. Damn it, I can't think of other songs right now. I'm like,
because see, if their parents don't get you and don't give you any money, you're gonna end up naked.
That's true. And I don't care what day of the week, you are not a Saturday Night Diva.
And then you're gonna then you're not gonna show up and you're gonna say you'll be there.
Yes. And at the end of the day, you know what? Goodbye.
And this is all because you think that you and your wife, you're like, oh, two became one.
Yeah. It's too much.
Damn, the Spice Girls didn't have that many songs. And
yet we did this we went pretty long.
Anyway, so
you're back. See, I couldn't do this with Roger.
Roger be like, Spice Girls? What? I did enjoy the moments that you would throw pop culture references at Roger and he'd be like, what? Which one was it? Which one was it? That it was
Yzma was that was my favorite one. Like Junior and I were like, Emperor's New Groove. He's like, wait, what's happening?
Yeah.
He's like, what's an Yzma? Like, what? I was like, what?
What?
That was that one. And it just kept going and going and going.
What is what?
I think Junior left for a little while. He's like, I'm done. Like, this is.
And I loved how like whoever did that week the reel, it was Roger being like, what's the Emperor's New Groove? Cue to you and I think Junior too, having a full conversation about the Emperor's New Groove.
But we love you, Roger, and you, whenever you want, aquí tienes la casa. We welcome you back anytime. Listen, he did 6 months, okay? He did a tour of 6
And
months.
we will find a corner for Eric. And we need to kidnap him and take him to Denny's.
Yes.
Oh, do you know what I gave Eric for Christmas?
A Denny's gift card?
I did, sure did. So I was like, Eric, we got to go together. I think that should be special, pero let me tell you footage.
1,000%. That is bonus content in the making.
Eric, we're going to order some French toast. For you, this is just toast.
We're just going to toast and fries.
And then, the thing about Eric, like a good Frenchman, it took me a second. like a good Frenchman, because Eric, you could see the disgust in his face. He'd be like, "This is terrible. Let's see moons over Miami."
Oh God, the only person who would have it worse at Denny's is Gwyneth Paltrow.
Gwyneth Paltrow would like evaporate.
You combust.
Tú te imaginas la cagadera que se va con Gwyneth Paltrow going to Denny's. I think the air filtration system inside Denny's will be enough to kill her. Because that air, passed through the kitchen.
Fluorescent lighting.
Do you have any organics on the menu? Are these eggs cage free?
Bueno, I didn't get them out of a cage, so I guess. Esta americana que quiere una jaula.
Okay. So there's something else I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
So,
all right. Well, before you get into that, though, we're gonna throw it really quick. Word from our sponsor.
Or our sponsors. I even, it's been a while.
It's been a minute.
while.
It's been a minute. All right. We'll be right back.
All right, Pero Primos, welcome back. Happy New Year. If you're watching this, it's because 2026 is officially underway, and we are here with Coach Tony Castillo and the Christmas tree because Los Reyes hadn't happened yet, and so we didn't take this down, all right? But no, it's a new year, so everybody's making all these resolutions and trying to be a little bit more health forward, and Florida Dairy is reminding us that milk is such a big, important part of just growth and performance as we try to keep ourselves healthier. What are some of the ways that helps with that?
Well, with all the new goals, everyone has healthy habits. I just want to go back to Christmas. If someone didn't get you that BMW, Dairy will. So BMW stands for bone, muscle, and weight. So with the new year, Dairy's bringing that to you.
All right, that's one BMW. It's cheaper than a lease. That's for sure.
Absolutely. So when we think about Dairy and all these new habits, you've probably done some weight management journey at the beginning of the year. A lot of people focus on that. Yeah. So typically the bone is going down, not just weight, right? A lot of people think, oh, well, my weight's going to go down, but your muscle and your bones, two very important things we want to maintain as much as possible.
Your bone density?
Bone density. Yes, especially as we age. So when we lose weight, if we don't do strength training with it, and we don't have calcium-rich foods such as cottage cheese, milk, and yogurts, we tend to lose a lot of that, right? And the thing is, typically when we're kids, we build it up. But as we're older, it's typically just continually breaking down and breaking down. So if we don't give it the foods it needs, it's not going to. And then with the new year coming in, people trying to lose the weight, we're not focusing on our BMW. Right. Well, the right BMW, I should say.
Right. That's true. Yeah, because it's the cheaper one again. Yeah. It's the one that everyone can afford this BMW. Yeah. Or rather, you can't afford not to pay attention to this BMW.
The truth. Yeah. So having this growth and potential that Dairy actually has and the performance for athletes alike, whatever your goal is, Dairy's very easy. I love thinking about it because when we think about growth and performance, most people think, all right, I'm going to go do something. I'm going to get a sports drink to get those electrolytes in. And then I'm going to do that protein shake post-workout. Dairy has all of that. And that's what I love about it. So it could actually be your pre and post-workout because the sports drinks, you're looking for sodium and potassium, which are the electrolytes you use in your sweat. Yeah. Milk has it naturally.
Wasn't there a study recent-ish that having a glass of milk, I think it was chocolate milk because I'm biased that way.
Everyone loves it.
I mean, who doesn't love chocolate milk? Like before a workout can help you increase your weight loss or something like that, your metabolism?
It can do it can do many things, right?
Or am I completely getting this all wrong? And we're going to have to reshoot this whole thing.
No, absolutely not. So what I love about chocolate milk is really great as a post-workout and it can be pre-workout. Okay. It really depends on what you like and how your stomach handles it. Right? There's some people, they can have any food beforehand and they have no problems. They can't eat anything. So it really just depends on who you are. I love chocolate milk as post-workout because it has the 3 R's: refuel, repair, rehydrate. So we refuel with carbs. You just worked out. You just deplenish that gas tank from your BMW. So you need to put some carbs back in. 2, you need to repair. You just worked out those muscles. You need the protein from milk, 8 grams per glass, even in chocolate milk.
Wow. And
then finally, rehydrate. So instead of having water or adding salt, you have it in your chocolate milk. So yeah, chocolate milk is one of my favorite. And I think the study you're referencing also spoke about how hydration comes better from a milk than it does from a sports drink or a water, right? Which is crazy because so many people think hydrate and they think water. However, milk has been shown to be better when comparing that to a sports drink or even water.
There we go. See, this is why I bring him on. He knows what he's talking about.
We have to help each other out.
I don't. That's why he's a nutritionist. I'm just a podcast host. This is all, it's all new to me. But I think, what is the easiest way that maybe people can incorporate it as, again, they're trying to stay on track this new year, right? And we're all very busy and everybody's like, I try, but it's so hard. And there has to be just simple little tricks, right, that we can do to help our body just perform better in the new year.
Absolutely. So my favorite hacks is making sure we get a post-workout chocolate milk, as mentioned earlier. When we have snacks, so many of us tend to avoid it, right? Especially in the afternoon, that afternoon slump. Everyone gets it. Everyone is like, oh, should I go get a cafecito? ¿Qué debo hacer? Get your cafecito if you want it. Make sure it's cafecito con leche, number one, because you want some of that protein. You want some of those carbs. And then pair it with a Greek yogurt or a cheese stick. Right? Because again, we're getting that BMW bone muscle weight up in the ways we want it. So when I say bone density, muscle size, weight, it can actually been shown that when we have dairy products, it can help us actually with the weight loss. And there will be a new FDA approved that on yogurts, it may help reduce the incidence of type 2 diabetes, which is very important in the Latino population because, as you know, a lot more Latinos are getting type 2 diabetes. So yogurts will be getting that FDA stamp of approval very soon.
Okay, well, there you have it, Pero Primos. We just gave you a BMW for the new year.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. You can't say we never gave you anything. But, for more information, you can always check out floridamilk.com or lechedeflorida.com, or, as I always say, this guy's Instagram, Coach Tony Castillo. He's full of information. Plus, you know what? He's just it's a fun time on his Instagram. I'm not going to pretend it's not, because it is. All right? But thank you again for coming by, man. And listen, Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year. Thanks for having me.
Ya llegó 2026, and you know what that means. We're all singing the New Year, New Me chorus. Pero if you really want to start the year feeling strong and energized, we got to talk protein. Dairy's got that high-quality protein working for you. Milk, cheese, yogurt, all packed with casein and whey, the essential amino acids that help build muscle, boost recovery, and helps keep you fuller longer. And if you're hitting the gym this year, as we love to do in January, how about some post-workout chocolate milk? O sea, protein plus carbs plus electrolytes help you recover like a pro. And for those of us running on vibes y cafecito, Dairy gives your body the protein needed para seguir fuerte. Así que whether your goal is strength, energy, wellness, or just surviving 2026, start your day with Dairy. Porque if you're gonna new year, new you, make sure it's powered by Dairy. For more information, visit floridamilk.com or lechedeflorida.com.
And we're back.
I hadn't heard that in months.
I still have a lot of things that you haven't heard in months.
This is true. Whoa.
Well, So thank you to our sponsors. I wanted to talk about Fernando Mendoza. Quarterback, Indiana.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Okay.
Just go with it.
Okay. So
I can't know everything.
So Fernando Mendoza, as everybody in Miami knows from the Miami-Indiana game, was the star quarterback from Indiana. And he is from Miami, Cuban-American.
Went to Columbus, right?
Yeah. And was pretty much the star of this, series. And Indiana ended up winning, and he got a significant amount of attention, right? And he's very big about talking about his Cuban roots and proud of his heritage. And he had done many interviews in the last several months talking about his parents and his abuelos and all that. All four of his grandparents are Cuban. And then
I'm still with him.
I don't know if they're still with him, but all four of his grandparents were Cuban. So he was raised with Cuban grandparents. I think the parents were born here, and then obviously he was born here. The reason I bring him up, in addition to, his achievements as a football player, and congratulations, the reason I bring Fernando Mendoza up is because when he was getting a lot of media attention, especially a couple of days or a couple of weeks leading up to the game, and they were presenting him as a Cuban American, and he was talking about being Cuban. A lot of people, of course, on social media had a lot of things to say. Why is this white guy saying he's, Latino? And, it's another white guy who's trying to
his last name's fucking Mendoza.
And, a lot of people are having a lot of opinions about his, to quote Martha Darby, his Cubanity, and the fact that, he has Latin heritage and his Latino or Hispanic. And of course, online, people were calling him a white guy and this and that. And that, you know, why was he the face of Cubans and all that? And of course, I can assure you that most people that were saying that were, first of all, probably Anglo. And second of all, they were not from Miami.
Right.
Because let me tell you something, being from Miami, and this comment I'm going to make is very, if you know, you know. It doesn't matter that he was born here. It doesn't matter that skin-wise or he presents white. That kid has 4 Cuban grandparents and went to Columbus on 87th Avenue in the heart of Westchester. Yeah. We know who that guy is. Yeah. We know who that kid is. And I'm going to tell you that kid is Cuban AF. Yeah. So don't come at me from, you know, another state
from Indiana.
or from Indiana or from the Midwest telling me that kid is not Cuban. That kid is super Cuban, bro. And that kid is from freaking Columbus. We know who that kid is. We know who that kid is to tell us, oh, you know.
He may have even been taught by a friend of ours.
To tell us, like, bro, that guy went to Arbetters.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
He actually has a hot dog now named after him at Arbetters.
Well, there we go. There you go. There we go.
It is official.
There you go.
There we go. Do you know how many times that kid probably went to La Carreta on 87th and Coral Way on Bird Road Deal?
Yeah, bro.
You know, it's like that kid is Cuban AF for some freaking guy named John from, you know, the Midwest telling us. Sit down, Corey. Telling us that kid is not freaking Cuban. That it bothers me so much when people who don't know crap want to impose their opinion on our culture and especially our regional culture, right? Because this is a very regional thing. Want to impose their opinion on our regional culture and the complexity that is your heritage and your ethnicity, right? Yeah. Because these things are not easy. These things are very complex.
Absolutely. And especially
so it just really pissed me off during this time. And I was like, can't wait for the show to come back.
Darien was like 3 days left till I get to rage.
Hell yeah.
No, but it's what we've always talked about, right? Where it's like, just because you quote unquote present a certain way, people all of a sudden assume like, you know, this must be X, Y, and Z.
Listen, ese niño, and you can put this on the reel. Ese niño with 4 Cuban grandparents. Do you know how much potaje, puré, frijoles ese niño had growing up? Oh. To have Corey from Indiana tell me that kid is not Cuban? Please, bro. Sit down.
Sit down. Sit down.
Fernando Mendoza for sure was smelling like agua violeta for the first 9 years of his life.
That kid was bathed in Agustin Reyes.
Thank you.
He probably had an azabache.
Oh, no.
Probably
facts.
still does.
He went to Columbus. You know that
He went to Belén and Columbus.
Olvídate.
dúo de la historia.
Ese chiquito de padre tiene una foto de la comunión de él en la sala.
Facts.
Los
abuelos lo tienen from K to 12.
Yes.
En la casa.
They've got his teeth
Everything.
somewhere.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Y dos zapaticos.
Ajá.
Right.
Bronceado.
Yes. Él tiene, ese niño le hicieron el bautismo, la comunión y la confirmación.
100%.
Yeah.
Seguro que yes.
Yes. That kid probably owns guayaberas, or at least his parents or grandparents do.
Baptized in one.
Of course.
For sure.
Tell Corey from Indiana. Tell me.
Also,
that
Corey,
he's not Cuban.
you know what, Corey? Because of your name, I don't know if you're a guy or a girl.
Yeah. Screw Corey from Indiana. This made me happy. I'm glad I'm back.
Well, I wanted to talk about something else that actually you told me about. That I did not know it existed. You told me about it. I've already seen the first 2 episodes. The documentary on Hulu, Dirty Talk.
Oh, it's great.
About the 90s talk shows.
It's great.
Oh my God, it's fantastic. So, Pero Primos, again, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a documentary, a multi-episode documentary on Hulu called Dirty Talk, and it's literally all of like the talk shows of the 90s, and it's only on episode 2. I don't know how many episodes.
I love that the only person that didn't show up was Oprah Winfrey.
Yeah. Well, you know what's funny is, have you seen the second episode?
No.
Okay, well, the second episode is predominantly about Ricki Lake because, you know, I didn't realize how young she was when she started. She's like 23.
Yeah.
But she's not in the documentary, right? But they talk about her. What I thought was really funny. So, you know, they're talking about how, like, once Ricki Lake came in, like, okay, now everybody, you know, there's this new crop of talk show hosts and they're all young and this and that. And one of the producers, I think of either The Maury Show or Jerry Springer, was like, you know, what was Tempest Bledsoe doing here? Why did that Cosby kid have to, that poor thing?
She did have a talk show.
She did. I forgot all about it.
She did.
I forgot all about it. But you know what? They didn't.
So did
Charles Perez had one.
Wilson.
Carney Wilson. Carney Wilson had one. Queen Latifah had one at one point.
She had two.
She had two?
Yeah. She had one not too long ago.
Oh, that's right. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was her, Charles Perez. The second episode really talks a lot about the Jenny Jones murder situation.
I didn't know Jenny Jones was a comedian.
I thought you were going to say Canadian.
No,
but she's
she was
both.
a comedian.
She's both. Yeah, she's a Canadian comedian.
Who knew?
Well, Jenny did.
Yeah, Jenny did.
Jenny did. And you know what? I love me some Sally Jesse Raphael. I don't care that she's wearing a Lady Godiva red wig down to her belly button.
And she's 90.
Who cares? You know what? And I'm not just saying that because she replied to two of my tweets way back on Twitter.
But you know what's funny about all those talk shows from the 90s is that Maury Povich was like this distinguished like journalist.
Yeah.
And then he was doing The Father is
in episode
You are
one,
not the father.
In episode 1, it's just funny how certain things like you forget about or you think you've forgotten about it and then boom, it just takes you back. I was in the kitchen when they started talking about Maury Povich, and of course he started on A Current Affair. And the first thing I guess, because I didn't see the visual, they showed like how the logo for Current Affair, a little triangle come out, and it would do like that thing. And I heard that, and it was like, whoo, it just hit me.
Yeah.
Oh shit, that's A Current Affair.
And then you know who hosted A Current Affair after him? Bill O'Reilly.
That's right, Bill O'Reilly. That's right.
And Penny Daniels from Channel 7 hosted it for a while too.
Really?
Yeah. But anyway, no, great. That episode, especially if you remember all these talk shows in the 90s and even early 2000s, because Maury Povich was in production until only a few
Jerry
years
Springer
ago.
ended like 3 years ago. We talked about the end of Jerry Springer on this show.
Yeah, no, and it's funny that I wouldn't say I like trash TV, but even I was sucked into that.
We all watched.
I remember I bought the tapes of Jerry Springer.
You did. I remember them.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's so not a thing I would
Expect of me.
Right, but there they were.
They sucked me in.
There it was with all of that police tape over the girl's boobs.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the cover.
Yeah. But it can't, those things, those shows were so just, it was like a train wreck, and you couldn't help but watch. And I even think that like,
but the evolution or de-evolution
for a moment, like in the mid 90s, there was still an element that you thought this was real, but then not because. Well, not that it wasn't, because they were real.
They were real. Yeah, they talk about that
towards
in the second
the
episode.
end, it was very embellished, and it was very.
They were properly casting.
Yeah,
even if it was a real person,
and they would set them up, to really do that.
Yeah,
to act the way they did, and and now because it had become a thing, even the guests were in on it.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, no, those were
the days. You couldn't do that nowadays. Like, think about it. There's no talk shows anymore. In general, really. I mean, there's daytime chat.
Yeah, but that format.
But that format is and let's not talk about when it got off the rails, right? Because that's very easy to say why that didn't. But if you really do stop and think about, like, let's go to like the Donahues and even Sally Jesse and what Oprah started off as. These were hosts that the intention was maybe to titillate, but also to educate.
Yeah.
Like it was taboo topics, but it was things like, they would have people come in and talk about like, surviving sexual abuse or, surviving alcoholism or, adoption and how to deal with schizophrenia, whatever.
And then we were talking about my husband had an affair with my mother and father.
Right. And now you can just only get that on OnlyFans, really. So
now people are paying a subscription for that.
Now it's $5.99 a month, and they all live in one big house.
Yes, with a 30% off.
I mean, listen, a bargain's a bargain.
The golden age of television.
Yes. What was your favorite talk show of those? Like, what did you say was your?
I liked Jerry Springer because I liked that Jerry Springer.
For TV.
No matter how trashy it was, he would always end with Springer's final thoughts.
That's right.
So he tried to like make it legitimate, and then you'd be like, oh.
It would always end with like,
this was a learning experience.
When you're done pulling your hair out, just love each other. And it's like, I guess.
Love yourself and each other.
Yeah.
He was a lawyer.
Yeah, and he was also the mayor of Cincinnati.
Yeah.
As one does.
Maybe I'll have actually I do have a talk show. Sort of.
No, but we're not bringing, aging strippers with leprosy or something.
I was going to say, do you know how a talk show in Miami would end up? How it would look like, the demographic? I'm like, yeah. La Doctora Pola.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we've been there.
Yeah, we've been there. That's also great. So
But see that
Caso
show.
Cerrado meets El Show de Fernando. It'd be a combination of those.
do you remember Show de Fernando?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know Show de Fernando has been at its time, it was the only Spanish language show that got a cease and desist from the FTC.
Really?
Yeah.
What did it?
I'm going to tell
how
you
did
why.
It piss off the
I
FCC?
actually saw the skit because I actually used to
That
like
show
that
was
show.
live.
That show was live and it was at 7:00,
That's right.
right? He had a skit where he played doctor.
Okay.
And on this particular skit, there was a guy on a stretcher with a sheet and the sheet went up
Okay.
at 7:00.
Oh,
So
it's too early for a sundial.
yeah. So because the sexy nurse came in.
Oh well, you know, I mean, he's only human.
Right. And, it was a sexy nurse.
It was a sexy nurse. I mean, what are you supposed to do?
And I remember we used to watch that show. And the thing about a show de Fernando was that, did you ever watch it?
Not really, because that was that blind spot that I have. Like I know what it was, but I never saw it.
So he actually was a great host. And he would have like a lot of local talent and stuff on the show. And the skits, it had a significant amount of production value for being a local thing. But it would have like practically naked girls.
It was racy as hell.
And I'd be like, the dancing girls at the beginning, Fernando. And I'm like, they all go to Miami-Dade. I would watch, I'm like, they all go to Miami-Dade. And, they have a gig at a show de Fernando.
I mean, listen, once El Gordo Porcel left the airwaves,
La
what
Gatica de
were La
Porcel.
Gatita supposed to do?
La Gatica de Porcel. If you know, you know.
Yes.
If you know, you know.
But I remember he had an Italian restaurant.
Yeah.
A la pasta con porcel.
Yeah. Maybe it was better than Brooklyn Beckham's pasta.
I mean,
it couldn't get it worse.
I'm going to trust a fat man's pasta over Brooklyn Beckham's.
over the Nepo baby's pasta.
Yeah. I mean, he looked more like Marlon Brando.
The thing about the fact that he used bottled Alfredo sauce. Do you know how easy it
Clearly
is?
he's not over it.
Do you know how easy it is to make Alfredo sauce from scratch?
Okay, that I don't know.
It's super easy. It's like butter, cream, and garlic and Parmesan cheese. Like literally, you just put it in a pan and you melt it. Like that, you could do that. Like if I were to tell you, hey, this is what you need to do. It's super easy. Like once you learn what it is. No, we're gonna get your pasta. You're gonna drain it, and then you're gonna add the sauce. And I'm like, dude, I don't want to hate you. I don't want to hate you.
But you're making it very
But
hard.
We need to, elevate this.
You need to help me out to not hate you.
We need to upgrade you to quote Beyonce.
Can you imagine? Because we're doing 2 events at South Beach. Can you imagine if he comes in and has our chicken?
If he wants to put it on his Instagram and say that he loves our chicken,
I know, but I don't want to. I don't want to like upset Posh.
you don't want to upset Posh Spice.
That's the thing. That's the reality of the situation.
Yeah.
Yo no quiero quedar mal.
Yeah. That's really
That's
what
it comes down to. Yeah. Because then, I mean, maybe she'll just point at me and I'll disappear.
David,
Exactly.
let's go have these fried wings. They're guava.
Apparently, one's named after me, the Pim Pam Posh.
Oh.
You know what? We've got something cooking right now that could totally translate to that.
What?
The one that we're doing that has a little bit of caviar.
I like that. Okay, so I want to bring something up before we head out.
Before we go to commercial again and come back with our last.
So
Cafecito.
I want to talk about something else. So, and I think when the controversy for this erupted about Bad Bunny and the halftime show, I don't think I was on the show.
You were not.
So I couldn't talk about it.
No.
But now I am.
You could, just not with us.
Now I am. And I am going to talk about it. So, as we know, on February, I believe it's February 8th. It's not this weekend, it's the following
February
weekend,
8th, yeah.
is the Super Bowl, and Bad Bunny is headlining the Super Bowl. And a lot of people have had a lot of opinions about Bad Bunny being on the show or not. This is what I don't get. If you don't like Bad Bunny, fine. A lot of people don't. Maybe they don't like the music. They don't like his image. Fair enough. What I don't understand is people that are upset that Bad Bunny is in doing the halftime show, how they feel they need to make a declaration about it.
Right.
These are all the reasons why Bad Bunny is a terrible Super Bowl halftime choice. Bro, just either watch it or don't. Mira, for many years, the Super Bowl had for me, like the worst performers, freaking Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, The Who, The Rolling Stone, Bruce Springsteen. All those years, I was like, "Are you serious?" And there were Paul McCartney. It was like back to back to back to back. Those people's music don't interest me whatsoever. But you know what I did? I watched it. Because it's a Super Bowl halftime show. And even though I don't care at all for any of these musicians, it's a Super Bowl halftime show. There's a production value to it. There's something to it. And I watched it and I just moved on with my life. But it's just incredible to me how they want to make such a controversy of Bad Bunny's performance when it's so obvious as day that they picked him because he is the world's most famous star.
At the moment, he is the biggest music act in the world.
Right.
Period.
There's
as the NFL, I said it on the show, as the NFL has started doing games in Brazil, the UK, they're trying to get a more international base. They need to bring in an artist that is going to attract an international audience. Period. This is a business decision.
Yeah.
Period. It is not like every year the people who put together the halftime show are like, who's on your iTunes? You know, and then they just pick, right? It's based on who's having a moment, who's going to bring eyeballs, right? It's a business decision. And like I said before, and I'll say it again, at the end of the day, with any Super Bowl game, it doesn't matter how great the teams are, you do not know how the game is going to go. What's the one thing that you can guarantee?
the halftime
The
show.
halftime act. So you better do it, because that way, at the very least, you can guarantee rates for advertisers. At the very least, to the middle of the show, there's going to be some degree of ratings, because if the game sucks, they're probably going to drop off afterwards. At the very least, if the game is awful, fourth quarter, bye-bye.
But again, it's the people, just the selective outrage that people have about Bad Bunny performing on the Super Bowl. And it's like, you know what? Another thing, whether you like it or not, he's American. Puerto Rico is American, whether you like it or not. It's American. So you know what? Let him be on the freaking halftime show. If you don't want to watch it, then don't watch it. But the people like putting their, line in the sand, I am not watching it because he's not American. First of all, he is American. And if you have a problem with Puerto Rico and Bad Bunny being American, then you know what? Freaking redo the Treaty of Paris of 1898 when, Puerto Rico became a territory of the United States. Go deal with that treaty and then get back to me. It's like, ay, la gente hablan tanta porquería. Like, I can't take, people and their freaking stupid opinions. Like, oh.
He's back. All right. Well, on that note, we're going to go to another break. And when we come back, it will be time for our last cafecito. We started this podcast 8 years ago with one goal: be our authentic selves and make sure our culture was always front and center. It's not always easy, but nobody ever said being bold was easy. And for over 100 years, no café has known that better than Café La Llave. It takes a certain level of bold to unapologetically keep your culture alive. But let me tell you, Café La Llave is doing just that. So when you're being true to who you are and hustling to achieve your dreams, of course you're enjoying Café La Llave Cafecito. After all, it's brewed bold for the bold. All right, and we are back, and it is... by
the way, the Bad Bunny conversation was also the learn part of the show.
That's true.
Because the
Treaty of Paris.
the Treaty of Paris of 1898 was what ended the Spanish-American War.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what other land became American after that treaty?
No.
Cuba.
Oh, okay.
Yes. In that treaty, Cuba also became an American territory. Pero los cubanos, because we're so freaking stubborn, wanted our independence. And how did that work for us?
On that note, our last cafecito brought to you by Café La Llave.
¿Quién va que nos metimos? We're embarcated.
We are totally embarcated. 100% embarcated. But what's not embarcated is our last cafecito brought to you by our friends at Café La Llave. All right.
Mountain Grown and
Hialeah. All right. Do you want to go first, or
you could go first?
All right. So I'm gonna keep mine kind of short and sweet. My last soda, I'm actually gonna give it to a podcast that started recently. It is. It's actually it's called the Let It Loose podcast. It's a Gloria Estefan podcast, and they are actually Pero Primos. I'm I know for sure one of them, Carlos, listens to the show, and they're on episode 2 at this point. I love the show. I'm totally digging it. They are actually like friendly with Gloria. Have you had a chance to listen to it yet? Or
No, but I want to.
Yeah, they apparently are like in a group text chain with Gloria, as one does. We're not even in a group text chain with Boris Sanchez, but they're in with Gloria Stefan.
He got married. Congratulations,
He did. Congrats,
Boris.
Boris. Actually, yeah, I congratulate him. But I just love the fact that it sounded when I was going back and forth with them or with Carlos, I believe. It was like we wanted to do it and then we didn't do it, and we kind of, and he said it was inspired a little bit by us, so very flattering and very humbling. But it reminded me of like when you and I were going to start, right? Where it was like, do we, don't we, do we, don't we? And you just kind of have to like pull that,
Was
trigger.
there a trip?
A trip?
A road trip?
Oh no, I don't think there was a road. Well, actually, maybe because they were at the Raices. Like they don't live in Miami, and they
don't.
They were at the Raices party, so maybe there was a road trip involved. But check it out. It's called "Let It Loose." They're currently, as of this episode, actually, as when this comes out, I think they'll be on episode 3. It's on all podcast platforms. So
We should ask them if they listen to this show. That I'm going to ask them indirectly. They should have a whole episode, and if they get to ask Gloria this question, what was the inspiration behind the song "Dingili Bangui"?
they actually have a segment. They're actually
Do they?
Well, they're actually accepting questions. I don't know if it's questions for Gloria per se, but you know what, boys.
Dingili Bangui, you know that song?
Yes, because you put it on Fine Line Between Love and Buttercream.
You know that song, Junior?
Again, he's back.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
And, one of them is from Miami, but he lives in Denver now. Another was like a Jersey or New York guy, and then I forget where the other one is at. The white boy. I know that one of them's white.
The white guy must have a different perspective of Gloria than we do.
Yes, but apparently he like really loves her Spanish music.
Well, no,
but right. But you would think like, he'd be like, oh, I appreciect it. But no, it seems like he just has that affinity for it.
He loves Abriendo Puertas.
Maybe.
Mi tierra.
Mi tierra. Can't think of the other one. La Vecina.
Okay, that's a good one. So my last cafecito goes out to my cousin, to Roger Borges, the incomparable
As you say.
Roger Borges. So my cousin really came through for me. Because as I said earlier in the show, when I had the conversation with you that I wanted to step back from the show, you were very supportive, but your one logical question was like, who's going to replace you? Because I think we both agreed that, especially since I didn't know how long I was going to be gone, right. Which turned into 6 months, we didn't want like a whole rotating, thing.
Yeah, this isn't Kelly Ripa auditioning hosts.
Yeah. And, that becomes more burdensome for you and all that. And Roger was sort of like a happy coincidence because he was supposed to fill in for 1 week. I really was sick. I got COVID.
No, you were, yeah. Like 2 weeks, it was because you were actually sick.
Yeah. And then he was great. But he really came through because, as we've said before, the commitment of doing this show is very important. And it takes a lot of time. And committing your evenings when we shoot once a week, every week, not everybody can commit to that. And he did. And, it was very, very meaningful to me that he really helped me out. So thank you. I did want to strangle him with the Chico Mirtha thing. Because the thing with Roger... I'm on the show again.
Look straight at the camera.
So
look
now
straight at your cousin.
I get to tell my version of the story. Okay. I'm going to tell my version of the story very quickly, but I am. The thing with Roger Borges, who I love and adore, is that Roger doesn't get context or nuance. Roger will ask you a question, and as we know, many times context and nuance are key. So Roger would be like, mira que si ese niño, like, the thing about the Chico Mirtha, he called me live on air.
Yeah.
Live.
I was here. Yes.
Did you hear my voice? I was like,
You're like, what's going on?
Like, why are you asking me this? So yes, Roger Borges is the official winner of the Chico Mirtha. He's a title holder.
Oh, okay.
Of Chico Mirtha 1986. Okay. Roger did win the contest. He did win. Okay. I didn't win the contest. In fact, I wasn't even part of the contest.
Because your father worked for
Mirtha Perales. My father worked for Mirtha de Perales for several years. Mm-hmm. And he was very good friends with her. And he was especially very good friends with Mitica, her daughter. In fact, we even went to dinner several times at her house. Back then it was in the Gables. I don't know if she still lives there. And I went many, many times to the Mirtha de Perales headquarters. It was very normal. It was like my dad worked there, right? So I met Mirtha de Perales many times. I have pictures with Mirtha de Perales. And I had the Soy un Chico Mirtha t-shirt, right? And back in the 80s, maybe some of you remember this, maybe some of you don't. Back in the 80s, especially here in Miami, if you were a little boy or girl who had nice hair, which I did, te decían, oye, eres una chica Mirtha, o eres un chico Mirtha, whether you won the title or not. It was just a local saying, right? And they used to call me Chico Mirtha all the time because I had that, as I said, that little Joey Lawrence hair that was kind of long. And they used to call me Chico Mirtha all the time. And then to add to that, my dad did work with Mirtha de Perales.
So the products were at home.
Yo todavía tengo el cepillo de Mirtha. Right after 30-some years. El cepillo de Mirtha is great, by the way. Y el aceite de letra S. See, I mean, if you would have used some aceite, you would have more hair now. And I loved their lemon shampoo and their grass shampoo. Great. And a balsam. Great. These were great products. So, yes, Roger Borges was the winner of Chico Mirtha, but they used to call me Chico Mirtha. That's why I would always tell you, I'm like, oh, porque yo, a mí me decían el Chico Mirtha, and yo, my family me decía Chico Mirtha. I never told you, look at my Chico Mirtha trophy, because I didn't have one. Right?
Roger did. But the thing with Roger is that context and nuance is very important. So Roger will be like, but he didn't win. He was, and it's like, so I remember watching that episode and being like, but anyway, back to him. It was very, very sweet and very meaningful that he filled in. It was great watching you guys because, as you would say many times, you guys knew each other. You had known each other for like 30 years, but now you were connecting like at a different level. Yeah. And it was also a lot of fun to see your frustrations when he wouldn't get pop culture references that he should have gotten. It was just really fun for me to watch. Yeah. But my last cafecito again goes to Roger because he really helped me out. And it was very, very nice of him. And he committed to it. And it was something that was very important to me at a time I really needed it. So thank you very much, Roger. I love you. Yeah. And Roger is my cousin. Let me tell you something. Roger's not a humble guy, but he's very humble about his career. Yes. Roger's worked for Telemundo, for Univision, for CBS, for NBC. Yeah. Roger is in a Emmy award-winning journalist. He has an Emmy. He brought it, didn't he?
Yeah, he did bring the Emmy. Yeah,
I think he did.
He brought it, right?
I think he brought it one episode, or I told
him.
He
did. He did bring it.
I think so. Yeah. Yes, because I held it.
He's an Emmy award-winning journalist. He's covered
hurricanes, red carpets, everything,
politics, 9/11. Like he, I think his first major story was a Versace murder.
Oh wow!
If I'm not mistaken. Like he was very well known for Cocinando con las Estrellas and all that. Like he is really, really an acclaimed and distinguished journalist. So and he was doing our show. So we had an Emmy Award winner host our show.
This is true.
So
we can't even win a Webby.
Yet.
But since we're back for season 9, you know who I want to thank also?
Yes. Who do we want to thank?
We finally want to thank the Miami New Times for their support for 9 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Notice the enthusiasm in my face.
It's been great how the lack of coverage has really helped us.
Yes. And even though they've been tagged for 9 years in most of our content, and we've had,
and covered nearly everyone we've ever had on the show.
Right. We've had celebrities, influencers, the mayor of Miami, elected officials,
Lemon Limon
commissioners.
going viral.
Lemon Limon went viral. It's funny that we're talking, not too long ago, they put some content of a content creator, and they were like, oh, because this content creator got 1 million views. And I'm like, yeah, we got 5. Not that it's a competition, but it's like, I mean, we've had the freaking mayor of Miami, we've had commissioners, we've had A-listers, we've been on other shows that were covering us, but the Miami New Times has always been there to support us.
Yes.
And
You
recognize.
just had an Emmy Award-winning host.
Right.
Co-host the show for
The Miami
6
New Times
months.
has always been there to bring to light local talent.
Right.
Homebred local talent. They've been very supportive in our success. Thank you, Miami New Times.
We appreciate it.
We really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. On that lovely note, thank you, everybody. That was episode 373. And as always, we hope you listened, laughed, and learned. And grab your pastelito, your croqueta, and your cafecito. And see you next week, everyone. I'm back, baby.